Hey, Tipsy Geeks. Tabby Cat here, letting you know that we now have a YouTube channel. Go follow us at youtube.com/at Tipsy Geeks Unite. This material is intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey there, nerdy souls and fellow geeks. Welcome to Tipsy Geeks Unite, the podcast where two female geeks sip on their favorite cocktails and dive headfirst into the world of video games, streaming, anime, and all things nerdy. I'm Tabby Cat.
And I'm Miss Kate, and together we're your dynamic duo for all things geeky. Whether you're a seasoned gamer, an anime aficionado, or just someone curious about the wonderful world of nerd culture, you're in the right place.
So grab your favorite libation, kick back, and join us on this epic quest as we explore the ever-expanding universe of video games, the thrills of live streaming, and the captivating stories of anime. Expect lively debates, hilarious anecdotes, and all the nerdy knowledge you can handle.
We're here to be your guides through these pixelated realms and epic adventures. Whether you're looking for game recommendation and reviews, the roller coaster of streaming, or just a fun chat about your favorite characters, we got you covered.
So, are you ready to press start and embark on this epic journey with us? Grab your controller, raise your glass, and let's get started with another episode of Tipsy Geeks Unite.
Cheers to all the gamers and geeks out there, and remember, it's dangerous to go alone. Take a cocktail with you.
So what's our first topic today, Kate?
Holy shit, Tabby, we are going to be talking about the last 4 episodes of Hazbin Hotel.
I'm so pumped up.
I am fucking raging hard for this. I am so excited. But before we dive in, let's talk about what we're drinking. Tabby, what are you sipping on?
I was in the mood for some espresso today, so I got 2 espresso martinis.
Hey, yo.
Because we were watching the last 4 episodes, and I was drinking while we were doing that. So I'd make a pretty good espresso martini if I do say so myself. So,
delicious, delicious. I am having a kind of poor man's hot toddy. My throat's a little sore. I think it's just because it's windy and cold, but I found a little bit of bourbon and I made a honey ginseng tea and put a little bit of bourbon in it. It tastes a little funky, but it is helping my throat and it is warming me up. I didn't have lemon juice, so I put a little bit of lime, and it's a weird tasting drink, but it's not awful. But it's doing what I need it to do, which is soothing my insides.
Good.
So
I hope you feel better.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's just we went from 60-degree weather for like 3 or 4 days, and now it's back down to like below 50, and it's windy and rainy, and my body's just like, when is this temperature change? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. We live in climate change now. Just get used to it. But
right? This is like the hottest winter for us in Minnesota, too.
That's wild, man. That's so wild. All right, we have to dive into Hazbin. But Tabby's going to give you guys a disclaimer. Please address and listen to this before you listen to the rest of the episode.
Okay, so unlike the last Hazbin Hotel episode we did, we're going to do full spoilers. We're going to talk about the whole series up until the end of season 1. So just FYI, if you have not finished the entire show or haven't started yet, just keep listening at your own discretion. And obviously, we recommend watching the entire show first before listening to us. I don't want to be spoiled.
Binge it. Yeah, so we just watched the last 4 episodes. Holy fuck, guys. Holy.
What did you think?
I think we'll start with episode 5 and work our way through. Episode 5 is where Charlie is, trying to get more traction. She wants, the extermination date is coming, and she's really trying to get heaven to approve, and her nativity is showing again. Annoyed the fuck out of me, but I get it. And we got more Alistair.
We got to meet Lucifer.
Yes, Daddy
her
King.
Daddy's
here.
Oh my god. And so many people love Lucifer. He's I love his character. He's a good dad,
Mm-hmm.
kind of an absent father previously, but now he's pulling himself out of his depression and isolation, and he's trying to be he wants to be with his daughter, and he wants to, well, he just was like, "You're inviting me over. Yes, I'd love to see you."
And
But
he has,
then Charlie wants him
yeah.
to see the hotel.
And the awkward father, just, I loved it. The moment he came on, my heart just swelled. I love the whole awkward father. And they portrayed, um, his depression and his nervousness for his daughter so well. I felt very connected right away for personal reasons. But he, I will say this: the last 4 episodes, a lot of characters that were introduced and a lot of characters that came from the first 4 episodes, some of them actually became some of my favorites. How in the first episode, or the 5th episode, excuse me, the song between Alistair and Lucifer was such a fucking banger.
Oh my
Oh
God, yeah.
God, it came on and I was just like, I got chills, and then Alistair was on screen, and then I got really hot and heavy. But then it got a buzzkill with Mimsy, who I'm so glad she only appeared in that episode. I'm sure that's not the last we'll see of her in the next few seasons, hopefully. Well, I mean, if we did, it'd be great, because I did not fucking like that bitch. She kills a good song.
I agree, actually. But Jeremy Jordan is the voice of Lucifer,
Mm-hmm.
he's been on Broadway and other singing roles, and his voice
Oh,
just
fuck,
so
dude.
amazing.
He hit a
Probably
note.
my, yeah, probably my favorite singing voice in the entire season so far.
Yeah, I think it's, of course, Alistair and then him for me, and Camilla. Holy shit. She
Oh yeah.
sings, and I'm like, fuck. But Lucifer, there's a song that he does with his daughter Charlie, and he hit a note that I was just like, holy fuck. That is quality. It was so good. I didn't really care for the song with him and Charlie that much. Like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite. But when he hit that note, holy shit. That was incredible.
It was the first time I watched it with my roommate. And it was on the TV. When he hit that note with More Than Anything, we both audibly gasped and we both said, "Whoa."
I mean,
Like,
you heard
chills.
me. You heard me go,
Yes, I did.
oh, man, I sat there and I was just like, holy, the quality of his singing voice and just his voice in general was perfectly fucking paired. Like, it's insanely good how this show, minus Mimsy, paired voice actors with their characters. It's fucking nutty to me. I was blown away by this season, the last 4 episodes. I mean, the season, because the quality of the voice acting and how well these voice actors took to these characters and really brought them to life. 5th episode, really, you see the camaraderie really stand out. You get to see a lot of growth. I felt very, very tickled, I guess is the best way to say, because I've been waiting to watch it, and I was dead to life this morning, and then when you played the 5th episode, I was just like, and I'm perked up. I am ready to go. It's like I had 2 shots of fucking caffeine straight into my veins. And
I thought it would be like that because you came on and you were like, "I'm not feeling so hot this morning," and you're not feeling well. But then this show just pumps you up.
it does. It's everything about it. Also in the 5th episode, really, Alistair, oh God. I know your roommate was
talk
like,
about all your Alistair stuff.
I have to get it out because it just made me raging fury of hormones for him. Yeah, you were telling me, oh, your roommate was telling you got to tell me something, and we realized that Alistair has tentacles, and I was like, that's fucking hot. Holy fuck. I mean, I I like weird shit. I watch hentai. I don't give a fuck what people think. And when he fucking was like, "Oh, it's so good to release some steam." And I was like, "Oh, I would really love to just damage you or let you damage me." But he came into when he just you got to see a lot of Alistair's kind of powers, and we'll talk more about the story that develops with him. But that 5th episode it was a good starter from having watched the first 4. It really just, like you said, I'm not feeling good, and that shit perked me the fuck up.
Yeah, and previously when we watched the first half of the season, the first 4 episodes, I feel like my favorite was episode 4, and I feel like I think you have a differing opinion, but I don't think since episode 4, for me, the episodes have gone down in quality, in my opinion. Like, it just kept going up for me. But
yeah,
in episode 4, or 5, sorry, I was so... It's like a head scratcher to me, because as soon as Lucifer comes in and the whole episode revolves around showing him the hotel and pitching Charlie's idea to him for his support and trying to connect her to heaven, to the higher branches of heaven. Alistair, like, as soon as he steps through the door, Alistair, you can see there's a little snarl, there's a little eye twitch. He does not like Lucifer immediately. And it's like, I wonder, we wonder why that is. And then they have a whole song about this kind of rivalry between them being like, hey, he's the dad, Lucifer's the dad, the biological father, but then Alistair's like, I'm the dad that stepped up. I'm the stepdad.
And I really love that about Alistair, because throughout the last 4 episodes, I'm just going to say the fucking season, you don't really know his motives, and we still kind of don't, but my theory after that whole duet between Lucifer and Alistair was Alistair, despite having a ulterior motive for Charlie in the hotel, he is starting to have feelings and connections with the people in the hotel. And going to the duet with Lucifer, he did stand up for Charlie, because I can see why he doesn't like Lucifer. And this is not hatred towards Lucifer. This is just my observation is, yeah, Lucifer was an absent dad. He, it's obvious that you see that they did state that Lilith and Lucifer have broken up or split up. We don't think, which is sad, but who knows what will happen in the next seasons. But
yeah,
my idea or my theory for Alistair not liking Lucifer is that Lucifer's the fucking king of hell. He created hell. He's the one that gave free will and all this shit, and he just sat in his little room in depression and isolation. And I mean, we've all been there with depression and stuff, so you can sympathize, but at the same time, like, when you have responsibilities, whether it be kids, pets, job, whatever, you gotta, pick yourself up. And I think Alistair holds, this grudge because there's all this fucked up shit going in hell. And where the fuck's Lucifer? Nowhere. He's in his room being sad. And so, I mean, I'm sure there will be more story behind Alistair and Lucifer, but I think that's my starting theory, is just he doesn't have respect for Lucifer because Lucifer's really powerful and all this other stuff, and he twiddles his thumb. And I also feel that in the next seasons, hopefully, this is my hopeful, wishful thinking, is that Alistair, his mind starts changing towards Lucifer.
Well, I hope. Personally, I think Alistair is going to be the big ending, the big bad at the end. But I hope that he is actually liking our cast members and thinking them as a found family. But we don't know his intentions yet at all, I think. I think as the seasons go on, we'll get more into him and his backstory. But
yeah,
right now, I don't fucking trust him.
I trust him. I think.
Well,
here's why I trust him. Here's not just because I'm fucking hot and bothered over him. From what I got through the last 4 episodes, is yes, he's going to be a big bad, but I think he's going to be a big bad that has some type of redemption. Is he going to go to heaven? Fuck no. But I feel that he is slowly, as he observes and he's slowly seeing how things are playing out, he he's going to end up tricking himself into actually being a good ally. And he's not going to realize it till something really like he fucks up royally. I think that's where it's going to go. And who knows, maybe he ends up completely dying at the end. I hope not, but I can foresee it. I watch too many Asian dramas where you think you fuck around and find out, and yeah, it's sad. But I think he's going to end up doing things that he thinks he's doing for himself, but it ends up being for others, and it kind of, he's going to have a moment where he's going to hit such rock bottom, and then there's going to, you know, Charlie or someone's going to be like, your kindness, blah, blah, blah. And something's going to change. And it may not be the way I would like it or other people may like it, but I foresee something else changing. And I think that he will have some type of redemption to some certain degree. And so that's why I think his mind will change towards Lucifer in a way. And it, whether it be completely or just slightly, who knows? But I felt the 5th episode really, the introduction of Lucifer, the more we got about Alistair, really, that was kind of the highlight for episode 5 for me. And bringing up the other characters, the last 4 episodes really highlighted each one's character development very well.
Mm-hmm. And we learned something in episode 5 as well about Alistair, that we learn it from Husk, that Alistair has made a deal and someone owns Alistair's soul.
Yeah, and I thought that was very interesting. I also thought when you hear about how he got his power, killing the other older overlords and why he's feared as the radio demon was really interesting, because you know he's a big bad, you know he's feared. So why? And that gives you a little taste. It's not the full picture. And I thought that was interesting. And then I had a revelation in episode 5 that I didn't know Vaggie and fucking Charlie were actually girlfriend and girlfriend. I thought they were just homies. I didn't know they were in a relationship. Maybe I didn't catch that in the first 4 because I don't like Charlie, but
I didn't tell you. I wanted you to find out.
Okay.
Naturally in the show. I'm sorry.
No, don't. That's I tend to put off a lot of, like, if I don't like the characters that much, I don't pay attention to subtle details. That's just kind of my thing. If you don't hold my interest, I don't really care about you. And when it's actually clearly pointed out, I was like, oh.
Well, we know now that they've been together for 3 years, and so it's not like they just met each other and this isn't the honeymoon stage. They're not like being super lovey-dovey, obviously, all the time. So I like that they're like in the middle of their relationship and they're already comfortable with each other, and we see more affection in the second half, physical affection in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and so moving to episode 6, which is my least favorite episode of the entire season. I did not fucking like it.
You gotta tell me why.
Of course I hate heaven in this show. They portray heaven as shit. I know all of this is necessary. I didn't think it wasn't unnecessary. It was absolutely necessary to set up the next 2 episodes. I could not stand Charlie. I could not stand Vaggie. I hated, and I'm sorry, Tabby, the song that plays when they go to heaven for their appointment with the court, with the guy.
Wait, the first one when they get to with St. Peter at the gates of heaven?
Yeah, I fucking hated that song. I actually turned down the volume because I couldn't stand it. But we get introduced, so kind of the background to episode 6 is Charlie asks her dad to set up an appointment with Heaven so she could talk about the hotel, and she brings Vaggie with her. And it's only for like a day or half a day. And Charlie being naive and, very excited and blinded by that is, she goes with rose-colored glasses and she meets the Seraphif, and the Seraphif's like daughter or protege.
I don't know what their connection is, but they're both seraphim,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess they're like, I don't really know if they're actual seraphim. I didn't look up the, I guess, mythology of
Yeah.
the seraphim in heaven, or I don't
But
know.
we
They're not
learned,
archangels.
yeah, the Seraphims are actually in charge of Adam, and we realize that the younger I'm gonna just call her a protege. I'm just gonna say that's what she seems to be, almost like a daughter to the lead seraphim. But she's immediately attracted to Charlie, and they become friends.
They have
And
the same energy.
yeah, the same energy. She's actually, I liked her a lot better than Charlie because she opened up her eyes a little bit faster, but due to the situations. I also did not like the episode because I I get how the story is written. Like I said, it's set up for the next two episodes, but and this happened with an anime I was watching with one of my friends. Is the story was going on well, it was fine and dandy. I was following, I was excited, and then this anime threw in this huge plot twist. And there's a huge, I wouldn't say a major twist in this episode for Hell of a Hazbin Hotel, but it gave it just it didn't sit with me. I can't really, it's hard to label, but I did not enjoy the episode. I felt that it it brought on a lot of like things to light. Like we find out that Vaggie was an exterminator. She's an angel. Angel? She an angel? She's an exterminator.
Yeah, she was an angel.
Yeah.
Or is.
And hid it from Charlie, and Adam's trying to use it as collateral. And then we see, the companions from the hotel go out at a night, and we see Angel stand up to Valentino, and the whole setup, it made sense, but it went from episode 5, like, here's Lucifer, here's this, and then, like, all of a sudden, it's this drama in heaven, and I was just like, all right, you're killing my fucking vibe right now. Again, it was set up that way, but I just did not enjoy that episode. I don't think I'll ever watch it again, to be honest.
Really? You didn't like the second song at the end?
Nope.
Oh, it's so good. I like how they mixed the A and B plot intrinsically together so that it's not just like, oh, the rest of the hotel is going out a night on the town, and we get to meet Cherry Bomb, and she has an Australian accent.
I love
now.
Cherry Bomb.
I don't hate her new voice. It's good.
And I like we get a little side romance with Serpentius starts realizing he has, he doesn't realize, but he's had feelings for Cherry Bomb, and the whole scene where I'm buying shots for everyone, and there's the sex room, and he's like trying to he's too scared to tell.
Will you have sex with me?
Yeah, and he's trying to tell Cherry Bomb, like, go in the sex room. He's like, I'm gonna have sex with everyone. And I love that Angel points out, I mean, you could just sleep with him. She's like, I don't know, I've heard he's got 2 dicks. And I just laughed. Oh my god. Oh, there's just the subtlety. But Angel standing up to Valentino in public was straight up, like, I sat there and I was like, girl, fuck yeah, baby, let's go. Get him, Angel.
I love the whole club scene because we get to see so much, like, I love just all the Hazbin characters interacting together as a friend group. And now we get to see they're becoming closer and
they're family
together. They're found family. I love the found family trope.
So do I. I love it.
And it was just so much fun seeing, like, Angel's improving. He's not like he's making better choices. He's sticking it to the Mothman.
And he's being protective of his friends. Him protecting the little one. I'm going to call her the little one because she's just so fucking adorable.
You're not going to call her Nifty?
I mean, Nifty's cute, but she's the little one. Oh my god. My love for her just grew immensely the last 4 episodes. But he's protective of her in the club, and And then when she fucking pulls the hair off of Valentino, she's like, for my collection! And I was like, oh, she's so cute! I loved it. But yeah, the sixth episode, I knew I needed to watch it, but it was a bit painful for me. I usually, when I find episodes like that in shows, I kind of just fast forward through the shit. But I'm glad I watched it because, you know, like I said, we find out Faggy was an exterminator, and then it gets brought to Charlie's realization, and she just feels heartbroken, which is expected. And then we also, Adam says, you know, extermination day is coming and we're going to the hotel first. And it's just like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. And we learned that also Sarah, who seems to be the one of the top or the top seraphim, okayed the extermination, but no one else in heaven besides the exterminators and her knew that the extermination was a thing. So I like that not everybody knew, because then it makes heaven look not as awful.
I mean,
but she just allowed an angel, a seraphim allows genocide.
Well, and it also shows something too about heaven and her choices, where she's like, they gotta tick these boxes, and then Angel ticks the boxes, but he's not in heaven. And it just shows how contradictory it is, and it shows how contradictory heaven is by, you know, oh, we're gonna go kill hell, when has, you know, they hinted that heaven's protecting itself from hell, but I'm wondering where the backstory is when did hell decide to attack heaven? Why do they feel they need to exterminate if they feel threatened by hell? Because that was mentioned when she was talking to M. You know, we have to defend heaven. It's like, from what? When did they, you know, I want to know when they decided to attack. I really...
Yeah, except for the first uprising with Lucifer. I don't know if that's what they mean, or...
Well, and it shows they're stuck in the past. It shows that they're stuck in the past, and that's a lot of some of the characters, like Lucifer was stuck in the past. And you really see when that last song with Charlie and M, that's when Charlie it starts snapping for her. And she's just like, what? So what the fuck? The point is going to heaven, and you're gonna go. You guys talk about being good beings, and if people do this and they're selfless, but you guys are exterminating people in hell. Like, what gives you the fucking right? What makes you guys so much better than hell? Like, up here, when you have the song with St. Peter, you see billboards that say silence, politeness. They have all these rules, and are those people really happy? Or are they being, you know, so groomed and so blinded by whatever heaven's offering that they're living a life where they have to live by heaven's rules?
Yeah, well, we learned that heaven is just hypocritical with a lot of things. We learned that, and as someone with religion, I like how it showcases heaven, because someone with religious trauma, it helps. It's kind of comforting. It doesn't, you don't necessarily need to interpret it like this, but for me, it just showed, like, yeah, there's hypocrisies to it.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
I like how it was showcased, and I think hope maybe in the future seasons will we get to discuss, like, does heaven and its citizens have free will? Are there going to be, like, other things brought up about, is being redeemed in heaven really the best choice? So I'm looking forward to see how that develops, if it does.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that now with Charlie, you know, she was inspired by her father to make the hotel, like, his stories. And what I got from the 6th episode is also how they were talking, like, shit about hell, and how Lucifer pointed out, like, these people, I give them free will and look what the fuck they do. And there's a difference between giving free will and managing it, and then just giving free will and then abandoning it. And I feel that's another reason why people don't really respect Lucifer, is because he made this place and then doesn't do anything. And it's just like, that's why it has this image, just because there's not someone who gives a shit enough about these citizens or residents to really try, you know, even if they don't want to be redeemed, you can, you know, we see in the seventh episode that they can be managed, they can be orderly and still live a good life in hell.
Mm.
And I really feel, you know, like you said, religious trauma, like I've had religious trauma. And so this really highlights to me, like, the pros and cons of each, I'm going to call it realms. So I did appreciate the themes and kind of the hints towards the you know, the dilemma, and Charlie really, it's, the light bulb starts to fucking turn on. It's flickering right now, but it's turning on in the sixth episode. I felt like that was really necessary. I didn't.
Oh yeah, it was a major, like, so many things were dropped in episode 6 for Charlie.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like I said for Alistair, like, Charlie's doing all these things to be helpful to others, and she doesn't realize that she's, like I said, she's got rose-colored glasses on. And the same thing with, I think, with Alistair, is he's doing all these things without realizing, you know, because realizing that it's gonna have a different effect. It's like, for me, I mean, we've all been in these situations where we think about something, like, we all have conversations in our heads, like, you know, you're preparing to ask a boyfriend out or a partner out, or you're going to break up with someone, or you have to have a difficult conversation, or you're going to go to a job interview, and you're having these thoughts and these conversations in your head how you want to go. And then when you do these things, you don't realize that 9 times out of 10 they don't go out as planned, but you come out different. Hopefully, you know, you realize it worked out better than expected, or it didn't work out. And I feel that for Charlie, despite all her kindness and all her hopefulness, it's worked out in a way, but not in the way that she pictured. And that's how I feel for Alistair. And for episode 6, that really hit for Charlie, is everything she thinks, oh, well, if I just do this, this is going to happen. And everyone's just like, you don't really know. And they're so afraid to really, like, break it to her. And they try to do it very subtly, but for someone like that, you really need the slap in the face. And that's what Charlie got in episode 6.
Well, yes, she did get a slap in the face. I feel like Hess says this in episode 7, it's like every time Charlie talks to Heaven, something bad happened.
Mm-hmm. It does. It's because in her mind, if she just, I'm a Disney princess, this is how it's going to happen. And it's like that, you know, and that's her nativity and her isolation in hell, is she hasn't really experienced the world, and she's young, you know, we forgive her for that. And you see in the, you know, we're going to get into episode 7 and 8, that it just becomes a reality. Her fantasy just kind of, it gets shifted, not completely destroyed. It's like, okay, hold on, this is not rainbows and puppies like she thinks it is with her crayons and stuff. There's a lot more shit that needs to go into this. And she hits failure to a certain degree, but you see that with the failure, she starts, okay, I failed, but I can do better, and I can do better in a way because I failed. And so I really appreciate that character development with Charlie in episode 6. And now we're going to basically go into 7, unless you have anything else for 6.
I think I know why you dislike 6 the most. It's because Alistair doesn't have a line in that episode.
You know, I knew you were going to fucking say that. And yes, I was disappointed that Alistair wasn't in there. But I also, like I said in the first Hazbin episode, I didn't like Velvet. I don't like Adam. Anytime he's on screen.
Fuck Adam. I hate Adam.
Anytime he's on screen, I just want to hit mute. I fucking can't stand him. And then that's my own personal problem. When I see a character get on screen and I know they're part of the story and they're a crucial part of the story, I don't care what show it is or movie, I will fucking mute it or I will skip it, because I'm like, you're a waste of my fucking eyeball. You're just my life, my
Uh,
energy. I would rather stare at my dog taking a shit than look at you. That's like, so that's my own personal grievance. So there was a lot of fucking Adam in that episode, and anytime he was on, I was just like, I need you to go away.
you know, I hate Adam, but in episode 6, the character that has topped my shit list for the rest of the season after that episode was fucking Loot. I fucking hate her so fucking
The
much.
lieutenant?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I
Her and Adam can just go fuck right off and be
hate them both,
oh,
but
God.
when she said their love is what did she
Disgusting.
say? Disgusting and blasphemous. I was like, I like that it was like a double entendre with an angel saying that, because it could be they're a demon and an angel in a relationship, but it could also mean
same
two
sex.
women.
Yeah.
Yes, same sex. Because Adam then says hot as fuck though, and it's just it's so good hypocrisy.
It is. Vivian really highlighted the hypocrisy of heaven. And
that was like, okay, that was like triggering for me. I was like, I want you to fucking die right now.
The moment she came on in the first half, I was like, you are a cunt, and I'm gonna enjoy watching you die.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna die, and I am gonna sit here, and I am just
my velvet.
I am going to sip on a cocktail, and I'm gonna order myself some takeout, and I'm gonna watch you die, and I'm gonna enjoy that meal like it's the last meal I ever have on Earth, because watching you die is just gonna be ecstasy.
I just wanted to say that before we get to the next episode.
Yeah, so going to 7, which 7 and 8 are definitely my favorites of the entire season. 7, I loved 7 so fucking much. We get introduced to a new overlord, and I have to point this out. I mean, first, before anything, is Rosie the cannibal. I want her and Camille to be my fucking moms. Like, I love you, mom, IRL mom, but I want 2 moms like Rosie and fucking Camille. Because those are some bad boss bitches.
Adopt me.
Please adopt me and teach me your ways. I want to learn violence in an elegant way. Please. Please. So I'll let you start off with episode 7. Oh, I love Rosie so much.
So after sorry, I gotta pick Twist up because he's crying.
Kitty, everyone say hi to Twist.
Hi, Twist says hi. He's right here. He doesn't say anything when I put him up to the mic. So after the revelations of episode 6, then Charlie's kind of in her room. She's sad. She doesn't know what to do right now. And Razzle and Dazzle are comforting her. And then Vaggie and everyone else downstairs is... I'm sorry, for a second. Can we talk about how Adam named her Vaggie after... I was like, God, he would. Because that would be his in character. Okay. Yeah. But she pronounces it Vaggie because I think that's better. Turn something from a negative into a positive.
Right. Or just say V. V,
yeah. So she and the rest of the hotel are downstairs, and they're like, what do we do now? Because the exorcists are going to come and exterminate us. Because they said at the end of episode 6, Adam said, we're coming for the hotel first. So now they're like, what the fuck do we do now? Because everything Charlie tries to do to improve things makes things worse. And Alistair sees an opportunity to go visit her in her room and try to, I don't know if I would say I don't know what his goal is either to like sweet talk her. Well, actually, no, I know what the goal was. The goal is to say, hey, there is a way to kill the angels, and I know how. He says, I know something you don't know, like a little child.
Loved it.
And he made a deal with Charlie. He made a deal with her, and I was like, fucking no, it wasn't for her soul, but...
I thought it was fine.
Do you remember what the deal was? It was... I can't
She has
remember
to.
it.
So she made a deal with Alistair to get the information that he had, and she has to give him a favor, but she won't be killing any of her friends. But she doesn't know until he calls on the favor.
Yeah, he said it will harm no one, but I have a favor. I'll have a favor from you. But I was like, no, I can't. I don't trust Alistair as far as I can throw him.
I think I know what it might be hinting towards, and I think, when we find out that someone has a grasp on his soul, and then he states that I want to be on the winning side, and he sees Charlie being on the winning side, that it's gonna have to do something maybe with his soul, but also power, because he wants to control everything, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna have to do something with that, in those retrospect. And so, yeah, they make the deal. Vaggie gets really upset because she's like, oh, and she's like, Charlie's like, it's not for my soul, and that gets cleared up pretty quickly.
Thank God. And so Charlie says, Alistair says, I'm going to take you to a friend of mine and we're going to talk with them. And Charlie was like, Vaggie, you need to go to Carmilla and talk with her about getting armed. We need supplies for the extermination when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they're both on their own little mission.
Yeah, and so that's when Alistair takes Charlie to the cannibal town, which fucking best town. I'm not saying I'm a cannibal, but I loved. So you see most of hell is just fucking chaos. There's sex, there's drugs, there's just all this fucked up shit. And then you go to Cannibal Town and it's like the typical American town back in like the 1800s where they dressed in the poofy dresses and the tailored clothing.
Very Hello Dolly.
Yes, very Hello Dolly. And I'm not saying I love that environment, but I loved that it showed that there's a place. We don't know if there's other places, but that place is managed. It's clean. It's, despite them being cannibals, there's a sense of respect. And that's where we meet Rosie the cannibal, who is in charge. Yeah. She's the overlord of Cannibal Town. And she, like you meet some other overlords in the first 4 episodes, and they're all like badass, like, and she's just delightful.
Yeah, I love her. The voice I didn't like at first, but her voice with the East Coast accent really grew on me.
I loved it right away. I was immediately drawn to her because I love, again, the showcase of these characters and the residents of hell is that they're very they could be, what's the word? They can have a society. They can have this quiet life. Like, sure, they're cannibals and they have razor sharp teeth. And then you see at the end, they're like angel blood, meat. But they're all very orderly. And I love the mannerisms and how respectful. Like, most people, when they see Charlie, are like, ugh. But they were like, royalty. Oh my God, she's so cute. And Rosie immediately takes on kind of a motherly or older sister kind of role, and just really is like, well, tell me what's going on. And I also love that how you see Alistair really respects her. Alistair's usually very like condescending and very like, but with Rosie, there was like a sense of respect between them.
I will say, I think that if you respect Alistair, he'll give you respect back, at least on face value. And like, he didn't kill every single overlord when he appeared, and there's a theory that he only killed the ones that opposed him or were disrespectful to him, because there's a lot of disrespect in hell from a lot of
absolutely
people.
Yeah. I mean, you saw that back to episode 5 where Mimsy has a connection with Alistair and she runs to the hotel, and Husk is like, tells Alistair, like, you fucking know she only comes to you when she needs something, and he's like, it's fine, I'll take care of it. And he takes care of Mimsy's problem, which she borrowed money from some loan sharks, which are literally fucking sharks.
That are literal sharks.
Oh my God, loved it.
And
And she's like, borrowed some money. I fucking stole a car and crashed it into the loan shark's girlfriend because fuck that bitch. And so Alistair that's when you see the tentacles and he fucks everybody up. And then he turns to Mimsy and he's like, you need to fucking leave. And I was like, yes, king. She's like, oh, so you're just gonna take on, you like this place. And, and I love that you could see, like, he's not stupid. And Mimsy thought if I just sweet talk him, like we used to dance and drink whiskey back when we were alive.
Yeah. But I think he gives her a little extra leniency because they knew each other when they were alive.
But he has a boundary with her, and then you see the relationship that he has with Rosie, and I was like, even if it was face value, like you said, there's still a level of respect there, and there was no rudeness or condescending. Like he was legitimately he had good gentleman manners.
Oh yeah, I think he could fit into Cannibal Town just fine.
I mean,
think
he was
that's
a cannibal.
why everyone there. That's true. That's probably why they all like him there.
He's got the teeth too. But so Charlie and Alistair go to Rosie to Cannibal Town because she needs people to help her fight the angels coming to the hotel. And he's like, I know the perfect people. And so, Rosie's like, you gotta convince one of them. And they're like, Susan.
Well, she said that you need to convince all of them with some moxie and razzle dazzle, but there's one in particular that's difficult to bring. If you win her, you'll basically win everyone because she's the most difficult. And they're like, Susan, fucking Susan.
She's the old hag. And Charlie, she gets, she's still really bummed out about the situation, and she flops. And then I love when Charlie just loses it. She's like, fuck you, bitch. And then Rosie's like, okay, let's take an intermission.
And on the flip side, I like how they're both like equally like plot A's. It's like plot A part 1 and plot A part 2, because then we have Vaggie with Carmilla, and oh my god, I don't know which part I liked better. I think maybe I liked Vaggie's part with Carmilla a little better than Charlie's.
I liked both. I think they fit well. I love that Carmilla was like, you have 90 seconds or whatever. She kept like to convince her, and Vaggie was just like, what about this? And what about fight? And then that whole song, and this is something I really wanted to talk about, was, Vaggie's like, oh, Camilla's telling Vaggie, you're fighting for revenge, but you know how I killed them? I killed them for love. And she killed them to protect her daughters, or the one angel to protect her daughters. And she teaches Vaggie, like, this is how I killed the angel, is because of love. When you care for something so much, you will risk anything to protect them, and it makes you powerful, because the biggest thing about Hazbin Hotel is love, whether it be intimate love, friendship love, family love. It's love. And that's something that Heaven kind of lacks, in my opinion, for the show. Is Heaven lacks love. They have to fit this perfect image, but there's no love. There's some like M in the Seraphim, Sarah, there's love there, but like you see more love in Hell, and they're having to fight for their lives, they're having to protect each other and the ones that they love. And that song between Camille and Vaggie,
Out for Love,
fuck, bro. And the choreography, the fucking choreography for that song when they're dancing / fighting each other. Whoo, man, that was another banger. Another banger for me.
And Carmilla's voice actress, Daphne Rubin Vega, is just like Lucifer with his voice actor. Her voice and the songs she's in are like amazing. Also, every time she's on screen. I like that Vaggie goes to her because she's the angel, she has the angelic weapons. She's arms dealer of Hell. Like after each extermination, she goes with her daughters to collect angelic weapons. She melts them down for the angelic steel and makes new weapons out of them. And she has these badass ballerina toe shoes, which I really want to know more about her,
Mm-hmm.
like when she was alive. Like, were
Mm-hmm.
you a ballerina when you were alive?
Mm-hmm.
Because she has such great fluid movements when she fights with her
Graceful.
shoes.
Graceful as
So
fuck.
graceful. And I loved so immediately they start fighting, basically. When Vaggie enters and is like, "Give me what I need for to fight the extermination," and she's like, "You got to convince me,
Mm-hmm.
girl." And she tries attacking after the 90 seconds are over. She starts attacking Vaggie, and Vaggie's like, "Ugh." She's whipping Vaggie around. She's beating her up,
With
and
no effort.
Vaggie's with no effort. And Carmela's basically telling her, like, you fight like an angel, and it's because, like, you fight like you're not worried about being harmed. You need to think about the other people. You need to fight for love, and that'll help you. And Vaggie's like, I'm not used to fighting with long hair, because when she was an angel,
Mm-hmm.
she had short hair. And immediately after she says that, Carmela takes down her hair. It's like one or
Mm-hmm.
two frames. She takes her hair down. She's like, see, it's like she's saying, see, it's not so hard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, you got to be better and not complain.
Well, and we also know that Camilla knew that Vaggie was an angel. She's like, you have an X on your fucking eye and you walk around with an angelic weapon. Like, you're an
It's not rocket
exterminator.
science.
Like, bitch, like, you fucking thought that, like, no one could see through your bullshit? Like, come
And
on.
that for in the fandom for a long time, that was a theory, was that Vaggie was an angel. So a lot of people were proven right.
And I mean, I didn't really, I had a hunch, but I wasn't 100% sure. And when it was brought to light, I was like, yeah, it makes fucking sense. And you see in that episode, you see how Vaggie met Charlie, and she was an exterminator. She went down for an extermination, and she was going to kill a little boy demon, and she got soft. And then so our least favorite lieutenant of the exterminators, like,
Loot.
fucking bitch.
I just hit me that loot short for lieutenant.
Mm-hmm. That's how she lost an eye, because she got hit in the face by Luke, and Charlie saves her, and that's kind of the origin of their love story.
Yeah, and I just want to say, fucking Loot stabs Vaggie in the eye and pulls out her eye, and then literally rips off her wings. Like, it was very grotesque. Like,
It's
if
brutal as
they
fuck.
had so Angel's blood is golden or yellow. It's kind of golden yellow.
Mm-hmm.
If that was red, I think it would be much more censored,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But it also highlights that before the hotel, Charlie was just like on the front lines, just trying to help people
Mm-hmm.
like recover after the extermination. I think that's so her.
It is. And you also see at the end of the duet with Carmela and Vaggie that she gets her wings back.
Yeah, she sprouts new wings. I was like, what the fuck?
I sat there and I was like, oh, okay, right on. Anyways,
I guess. Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess.
and then then it transfers over to Rosie and Charlie and Alistair, and finally, after Charlie vents about her problems with Rosie, and I love this with Rosie. She's like, Rosie points out, well, we all fucked up. She's all, that's why we're here, but you're trying to make a hotel and change the way hell is viewed by redemption. Can she not be redeemed? Do you not think that she really did love you? And she says, words are, nothing, but actions speak, move mountains. And I was like, yes, fuck yes, Rosie, you're the real one. I fucking love you. You're my homie. And so Charlie gets her voice and she sings her song. And I love how she's just trying to sing and be hopeful. And like the cannibals are like, angel blood and death and carnage, and she's like, yeah, maybe not so killy murdery, but she's kind of being subtle about it, because she's starting to realize, like, in order to protect and in order to achieve certain goals, especially the goals that she's trying to achieve, there's gonna be battles, and they're gonna be bloody, they're gonna be violent, but unfortunately they're necessary. And that's a key point with religion. I wanted to point that out too, is How many battles in our fucking history have been religious based? Like all
Oh,
of them.
many.
Think about the
So
Crusades.
many.
Think about so many, like, all the wars that happened in Europe about Catholics versus Protestants and things like that. And so it really showcases in Hazbin Hotel that as much as Charlie wants to avoid bloodshed, you're dealing with religious beings. You're gonna have to battle out. And same thing with politics, same thing with business. There's just violence. There's gonna be some fighting. And I really loved how Vivian really points that out throughout the season. But yeah, Charlie, she convinces the cannibals. Loved it. Loved it.
We got a cannibal army and we got angelic weapons. So it's perfect.
And they go back, Vaggie and Charlie go back to the hotel thinking the few residents that are there are gonna, they're gonna bail because they're in the beginning of the episode, they're like, where the fuck is Charlie? Where's one of her brilliant fucking plans? They're kind of a little tiffed about it. And they come back and they see that they're all there protecting and fortifying the hotel. And that made my heart fucking sing.
I love them so much.
My heart was so full. I was clapping and I was just so happy to see that they were staying. And then I love that Serpentius took over as general and he was like, I will take over like this and that. And it's oh my god. And I love that Cherry Bomb joined.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm here for a fucking fight. I'm here for another fight. And I was like, my bitch. Oh man. But that's the end of episode 7 where they come back and they're like, we got a lot of shit to do. Let's get ready for this. And lo and behold, when they're all getting ready for the fight, there's someone very important missing. It's Lucifer. Where the fuck is Lucifer? In episode 7.
He's probably doing his own thing and he's like not even thinking, I think, about
right.
The
yeah, but episode 7 was just, I loved, one of my favorite things too, and it was a little subtle thing, is when Rosie's trying to offer Charlie food and she pulls out a nice little tin of pickled fingers or whatever. I fucking love that. She's just being such a good hostess, and it's just pickled fingers. It was so good.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for me.
Oh, sorry. But the pickled fingers was great.
Oh, at the cannibal town?
Mm-hmm.
The little pinky finger. It's like, do you want a leg? Oh, I'm sorry. You're so tiny. You probably want something smaller to keep your weight.
You're managing your figure.
Yeah. But is episode 7 where like everyone's like celebrating the night before the extermination, and it's like, I love that they're just talking and having drinks, and Vague's like, I haven't stabbed anyone with meaning in a long time.
And I love the scene with Alistair and Nifty where he's like, I don't know what's going on in that crazy money where she's like, you're king of the roaches, and she's like, I like it here. I love it here because they let me make puppets with the dead rats that I get, and they don't boo me. And I was like, oh, Nifty, I love you. And you see a little wholesomeness from Alistair in a lot of wholesomeness in episode 7 from Alistair. And I love that interaction because it felt like father and daughter between Alistair and Nifty. I just loved that. Like, she's just like, I like it here. And
I do think he has some special sympathy or affection for Nifty, because she will like climb over Alistair, and she puts a crown of roaches on his head.
And he doesn't let anyone touch him. He doesn't like when anybody touches him, but Nifty can.
Yeah, I think there's a special bond there. And she's also a little crazy herself.
She's one of my favorites.
She's a special girl. I
live vicariously through her. I love her so much.
And if you dislike Nifty, we can't be friends.
No, don't even listen to the podcast. Just leave. Nifty she must be protected at all costs.
I don't think she needs protection.
I will protect her.
A little, maybe like 50% protection and 50%
protect her from herself. from
Yeah.
herself because she gets into some fucking trouble and it's adorable, but at
She
the same
does.
time, I kind of hold my breath. Like in the episode in the club where she's like playing with the
Yes.
bleach and Angel's like, no, don't get in the bleach. And I was just like, oh.
Chlorine, please. Going up to Valentino. Oh God, that made my heart stop.
I was like, Valentino, if you lay a fucking hand on that girl, I swear to God, I
Oh,
will transport myself into the show and I will smash your face into the nastiest vag and make you suffer from an STD. You fucking
oh,
bitch.
they definitely have STDs in hell.
Yes, they have to, with all the sex that goes on there, with all the different mixed breeds of demons.
In episode 6, with the sex rooms, is right next to each of the entrances because there's 3 sex rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them on the side of the sex room's entrance is a table with bowls of condoms. So I was like, safe sex promotion, like congrats. And the club was named Consent.
Love
I was
it.
like, that's a healthy club in hell.
I would go there.
I if I was in hell and was looking for sex or just a club, I would go there.
Absolutely. That was my vibe. That I would go there. Yeah, episode 7, really, I enjoyed it so much. It made me so happy. Oh, man. And like that scene, like you said at the end, when the night before the battle, and they're all just drinking and having a good time and just talking to each other. I was like, this is nice. This is,
I know.
oh, I felt so happy. I love when I see, like you said, family tropes and when they're coming together and they're instead of being sad or scared, they're all just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and they're not like fucking themselves up. They're
Mm-hmm.
just being so wholesome.
Yeah, they're not getting all fucking wasted. They're just enjoying each other's company.
Yeah,
It's
and even Charlie was like, this is gonna be a fun night, like let loose and have fun. It's like, and no one, it was just like they were all talking together and
and
having
then
drinks and being so much
Charlie,
fun.
yeah, and Charlie and Vaggie made up at the end. I didn't like that
Yeah.
song, but they made up. I don't like Vaggie's singing voice. I'm gonna be honest. Not my fave.
I like it. I think she has range because she has that deep voice, and then she
Mm-hmm.
can do a very because she was Mirabelle in Encanto, so we know she can do a higher tone to her voice, a higher
Mm-hmm.
pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I think that covers episode 7 for me.
Yeah.
Now my favorite episode is episode 8. Holy shit.
Uh,
From beginning to end. Holy fucking ballsack.
it's a wild ride.
I'm pretty sure I almost deafened you by fucking screaming at the end where I was like, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Woo! I mean, I heard my dogs just like, what, mom, are you okay? And I was just like, let's fucking
Going
go!
on?
You know, Oliver like peeked around the corner. He's like, Mom, you okay? And I'm just like, fuck yeah! But yeah, guide us through episode 8.
So we know, the season is 8 episodes. So this is the final episode of the season. Again, I'm gonna say I wish it was 10 because then I think there would still be no fat to the season.
Exactly.
And it would still be hearty enough with each episode
Mhm.
being like having a hearty storyline that's overall good for the entire overall plot. But regardless, I won't complain anymore. We have episode 8. We got our army of cannibals. We got our angelic weapons. Like every person in the hotel is decked out with
New
an
fits.
angelic weapon. We got new clothes too. Everyone's in their fighting clothes, which I love. I love that Angel Dust has like his 1940s gear on.
Tommy
He has
guns.
Tommy guns. He has 4 angelic Tommy guns. Cherry's got like angelic bombs, I guess. I don't know. They look like her regular. They're
Mhm.
angelic. And Serpentius has his egg boys there with him. He's being like a Napoleon-like figure with his general behavior. And we got Vaggie in her outfit, and Charlie, which I think Charlie has the cutest fighting outfit ever with her shield. It's an apple shield.
Yeah.
And at one point, I'm like, girl, you need to have like an actual weapon because at first she's just defending, which I think is so like her character.
I also
but
really
we'll touch on that maybe a
and I
little
love
later.
the subtle touch with the apple because her father, Lucifer, his cane or staff has an apple. And if you guys know the story of Adam and Eve, the apple, love it. Anyways, I just thought of that when you were talking about her shield was an apple.
The apple symbol is very symbolic to Lucifer's look. And what else? Alistair's got a plan for when the angels come, and it really happens pretty quickly because we only have 24 minutes to the episode. I wish it was like an extra specially long episode.
Yeah, like a good 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah, but we just got 24 minutes. That's
yeah, so the fight starts off. Alistair makes a shield when some of the angels come in and blocks off Adam and the lieutenant. And they're fucking them up, they're fucking up the angels. And they're like, what? Adam's like, what the fuck is this? They're killing with us with our own weapons? Fucking weak. And I was just like, get fucked, Adam, you bitch. And so they're winning, they got the upper hand. And then, Adam gets really pissed off and breaks the shield that Alistair's made. And so I was, in the background, as the fight's going on, we see the 3Vs are having a watch party.
Yes! Yes! I was... Okay, before I was watching the last 2 episodes that dropped, I was like, we haven't seen Vox since episode 2, and I was going to be quite disappointed if he wasn't in the last 2 episodes, and we didn't see him in 7, and then... We get the trio of V's. We get Velvet having like a literal watch party in their like swanky tower, watching the slaughter at the hotel. And I'm like, hey, it's just like us. Look at us. We're so similar. We're bonding. So Vox, he's got his up. He got his jacket off. He's got his sweater vest, and I'm like, that's hot. So he's super excited that Alistair's maybe not doing great against Adam as Alistair thought he would. Maybe he went in a little too thinking about himself a little too high.
Alistair, that fight was pretty interesting between Alistair and Adam. Alistair was kind of, pissing him off, and that was another, that was the thing that Alistair does is he gets underneath your skin, but then, Adam gives him a good old swing on the chest, so Alistair kind of like aborts the fight. And so Vox is like...
and he breaks his staff.
He breaks Alistair's staff, which is a huge, big no-no. And Alistair feels, for the first time in that whole season, failure, which is a key point. And Vox is like, this is better than sex!
He's like, I'm so hard right now. I'm like, good for you. Yes, that's hot.
Yeah.
And I loved the detail, like... Now that we know, I guess, his central power is connected to his staff. And as soon as Adam breaks his staff, his filter dissolves, and it's just Amir, who's Alistair's voice actor, doesn't have a filter on anymore, and it sounds so different.
It does.
And he's like, what just happened? Fuck.
Yeah.
I love that he swore with the unfiltered voice.
And and then you see with the breaking of the staff, it actually it destroyed his radio tower.
Yeah.
Which was, that's how you see it's a key central part. And that's where we find out that Alistair wants to control everything, and you see more of the ulterior motive. And so Vox, seeing that Alistair retreats, thinks he's disappeared again, he's fucked. And then we go back to the main fight, and then that's when we see, holy shit, homegirl Charlie was like, all right, I'm sick of this shit, because...
Oh, but before she does that, you know what happens.
Yeah, so they're fighting, they're kind of starting to get owned by the angels, and Serpentius is like commanding everyone, telling them what to do. And Serpentius sees, Adam leaves the fight with Alistair and starts, fucking up shit. And Charlie and Vaggie are fighting, and they get together and they're like, what the fuck? Oh my god, what's happening? And Adam goes for for Charlie, and Luke goes for Vaggie because, at the beginning of the fight, Adams tells all his exterminators, like, I want Vaggie's head, and if you win, you get a million
heaven bucks.
Right? And they're all, yeah, fuck Vaggie, you fucking traitor, like, fuck that bitch. And so Luke and Vaggie get in a one-on-one, and Adam's going after Charlie, and Serpentius sees this, and he's like, it's time. And so he orders all his little Aggies, and he has made an angelic death ray. And that moment when he makes that decision, I already knew what was going to happen, and my heart was just like... So Serpentius goes in, and he's like, all right, this is, this is the last stand for Serpentius. And he goes into the ship with his death ray, and he goes to shoot it at Adam, and Adam's like distracted. And then Adam just looks and just fucking flicks a finger, and that's it for Serpentius. And so
I know it.
God, that when it and the fact that he went out that quickly, I was kind of like,
It was a split-second takedown by Adam. It wasn't. There wasn't. It's like he sacrificed himself for nothing, but not necessarily nothing. But it was just.
Yeah, it just. I felt like it could have been a little bit more, but that is what leads to Charlie just having her like her first awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
she transforms. She
gets a weapon.
Razzle and dazzle. She gets her trident out finally, like her weapon to attack, and it's like we needed that sacrifice to trigger the awakening in her. Like you can't
experience
just defending. You got to be on the attack and be a leader. Otherwise, you let Serpentius sacrifice himself for nothing. You got to be.
Yeah.
You can't just defend in a fight to the death against heaven.
Yeah, and so she sees that Adam's bullying the rest of her comrades, and so she transforms. Her companions, her two little protectors, transform.
Razzle and dazzle.
And everyone's just like, oh shit, there she is. Fuck yeah. And so she goes after Adam, and then Adam basically, he fucks up one of, I don't know which one it was, either Razzle or Dazzle, and then Luke kind of finishes one off, and then so Luke continues her battle with Vaggie, and Charlie goes back to help Vaggie, and Adam, hits her again. And then, lo and behold, when you think things can't get any worse, boom! Daddy shows up.
Lucifer,
and
yes. It's like, sorry I'm late.
And the way he was just fucking teasing the shit out of Adam by transforming, he's like, you slippery fucking bitch. And I was just like, Lucifer's just like, that's when you see Lucifer as like the king. Like, he showcases his power, because you're thinking, well, if he's the king of hell, what the fuck is he doing? And so that's when you see Lucifer really grow and come out of his shell and have his awakening, because it's like Adam's trying to kill his fucking daughter. And again, what Camilla said in 7 was like, you fight for love. And you see Lucifer starts fighting for love, and he's protecting his daughter. And then it the scene changes to Vaggie and Lute, and Vaggie,
they're just having a brawl.
They're fucking throwing hands, and Lute says something to Vaggie about, I'm gonna fucking kill your demon bitch. And Vaggie just loses fucking, like, that's when it hits her fight for love, and she fucks up Lute. And I was a bit disappointed that she let Lute live.
Yes, me too.
She's like, you can live as a failure. And I was like, no, just kill her. Just be done with it.
Exactly. Just like, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I wanted to say about that.
That is exactly what I said to my roommate when we were watching this last night. It was last night. But we were both disappointed that she didn't do like an eye for an eye or something. And she loses. So Vaggie is losing the fight at this point, but then she notices that she could trigger some rubble from the hotel to fall on top of Lute, which she accomplishes. Lute gets covered in rubble, and her arm is caught underneath the rubble, and she can't move. And Vaggie's like, I'm gonna let you live as a failure. knowing that you lost to me. And then Lute just fucking like a badass, unfortunately, I gotta say, rips her fucking arm off underneath the rubble to get free. And I'm like, God damn it. You know, she could have, like, Vaggie could have chopped her arm off or got her, she could have stabbed her eye out. I'm like,
I would have just chopped her head off.
Right? Like, this is
End
Lute
it.
a fucking bitch and said that their love is disgusting and blasphemous. I would have in this.
There's times to
killed
show
so many.
Yeah,
She's like the lieutenant in the fight of
and
genocide.
she's the worst of them all. And this is where I felt like there's a time to show mercy and then a time not to show mercy. And Lute did not deserve any fucking mercy. Whether you're trying to prove a point or not, like, that's just someone that you need to fucking kill because there's no redemption for that bitch. There's just none because you're just fueling her hatred and she's just so far gone. And so, yeah, so Vaggie wins against Lute, and then, you know, Lucifer's got Charlie in his hands and he's fighting Adam, and he loses his mind. And so, Lucifer and Charlie have a moment, and she sees Adam charging up behind Lucifer, and she's like, Dad. And so she, again, another power awakens, and she protects her dad. And like, that's when Lucifer just fucking blacks out and starts wailing on Adam. And I was just like, yes, fucking get up. And then we actually see behind the mask of Adam, there's a human quote unquote face. And again, Lucifer shows mercy because Charlie, being Charlie, says that's enough, he's taken enough. And Adam's like, you guys wouldn't exist humans wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my fucking balls. And I was just like, ugh. And so he's going off, and like Lucifer's just like, and all of them are kind of surrounding Adam. And then my girl Nifty, you see this. You don't know who kills Adam, but you just see this blade come through his torso, and Lucifer's like, you got a shiny thing right there. And then, you know, Adam falls forward, and you just see Nifty just stabbing him. She's like, hey! You know, and she doesn't know who she killed. She's just killing because Charlie told her to kill Angel. Stab an Angel.
Yeah. I love that when she first brings that. I didn't get that till the second time I watched, but she says stab angels, and she goes straight for Angel dust.
And she's like, no, not that one. And
like, Nifty, do you have a brain?
Yeah. And so, you know, Nifty kills Adam, but Lute takes she comes and she picks up Adam, and she tells everyone to retreat. And so the battle's won, and you know, everyone's like kind of happy, but then Charlie she has a breakdown because she's lost Serpentius, and she's like, I'm a failure. And then Daddy comes in, and he's just like, no, you know, there's going to be a lot of sacrifice, Diesel, but you have a dream, and I realize it. The show must go on. This is only the beginning of your story. And I was just like, yes. And so they start rebuilding the hotel, and that song was a banger.
He says, you changed my mind. Mm-hmm. You touched our hearts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, you know, when we think, you know, the V's are all like, what the fuck? Did not anticipate them to win, because they too want to take over hell. They want to rule hell. And then we have the reappearance of Alistair, who, you know, but the V's don't, it's apparent that the V's don't know that Alistair's back. But, you know, but he's weakened now because his staff's broken. But, you know, they start rebuilding. They put a nice portrait to remember Serpentius in the hotel. And the hotel's more modern now. And it's spread up.
Beautiful.
It's stunning. I loved it.
And if you notice, on the left side, the right side of the hotel is an apple-shaped dome, which I hope Lucifer stays there and comes.
I hope so too.
I think that'll be Lucifer's room. I hope so. I hope he stays as the main cast.
Yes.
And on the left side is Alistair's room, which is like his new radio room. And I see it kind of as like Lucifer being on one shoulder and Alistair being on another, like an angel and devil
Mm-hmm.
scenario for Charlie because I
Mm-hmm.
see Charlie's room being on the top in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my headcanon.
Yeah. And then a happy part of it is Serpentius. We see his sacrifice. He gets redeemed and he goes to heaven.
I know. I cried. I was
I kind of
sobbing.
teared up a little bit, and then you see M's just absolutely ecstatic, and Sarah's just like,
Sarah.
"Holy fuck, it's
She's like,
true."
oh, shit.
She's like, "Oh my god, so wait, it can work." And we
All
don't know
that
if
genocide for nothing.
she didn't know, no, you don't know if like she's happy about it or if she's just shocked because she didn't think it would happen. So I think she starts realizing the errors of her ways. Like she's like, I misread the whole situation.
I
And
think he's disappointed personally.
or
But
that it could be all of it as well. We don't know because it was such a short scene, but then the ending, which actually upset me. But I knew that is where it was gonna go, and I knew that's where I'll let you say it. I knew that's where she was.
Lilith. So, oh, sorry. So, it's so Lute is going on a beach in heaven and drops Adam's crown, or not crown, halo in front of Lilith. And she says, your deal is done with Adam. If you want to remain here, you're going to have to go down to hell and sort out your daughter. And Lilith says nothing, and she has sunglasses on. You can't see her face really, or how she's feeling, but she does narrow her eyebrows. Like, we don't know. I just want Lilith to be a good person. I just want her to be a nice mom. I want her to be with Lucifer and not split up, and I want them to all be a happy family.
But that you notice that she's been gone for 7 years, so she's been in heaven on a beach, essentially.
I don't know why.
And it seems like when you first get introduced to Lucifer, you see he has the family photos, and Lilith looks just so happy with her daughter.
Yeah, they all look happy.
But you also see in a scene that, as Charlie's listening to her father's stories, Lilith comes and takes her away, and like Lucifer's just sitting there. So I'm wondering what trouble that Lilith and Lucifer had. So I'm hoping in the next season we learn more about the history of Lilith and Lucifer's relationship and what kind of caused a lot of the turmoil that has bled off into hell and its residents as well. But I hope that Lilith is just like, she's like, she's a good mom, and she's like, all right,
Yeah.
I made this deal, but I ain't fucking with my daughter. Like, I'm not gonna ruin my daughter's life.
Yeah, I hope she comes in season 2 and is a major or side character. But interesting going back all the way to episode 1 when Charlie's reading from her storybook about her family's history with Lucifer and Lilith and Eve and Adam. She says that when Lucifer and Lilith were cast down into hell, Lucifer he gave up all hope. He was depressed and sort of kind of shrunk away. But Lilith thrived in hell, and she was a singer. She would sing all her songs for hell. So it's interesting to see that she isn't in hell, she's in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And is that story true, or is it just
Yeah.
I want to see if there's any changes, like Charlie was looking for, like it's all been this season, Charlie looking. So I hope that Lilith is not a bad character. I don't want her to be a villain. I want her to be just the sweet mother that Charlie thinks about in her stories.
I agree. I think Lilith has a portrait or a painting paid of hell right now, and when she sees, when she goes back to hell, she sees what's being done, that she kind of, things change. That's my hope. But that was one hell of a way to end that episode, is with Lilith and a beach in heaven. It had made a deal with fucking Adam. And I love that Lucifer threw it in Adam's face while they're fighting. He's like, oh, remember your first wife?
I know. And he does the V on his lips like she liked what I had to offer. Hell yeah. Throw it in his face. And it's like no wonder Adam is such a spiteful little bitch. Little like he's so demeaning towards women. It's like no wonder you're like this because Lucifer stole both your ladies.
So it
Your
makes
first
me
wife and your second wife, kind technically.
so it makes me wonder, like, damn, Lucifer, what are you hiding under that awkward dad personality, you know?
No, he's such a short king. I love him.
I bet you he's got a deep, dark, sexy side. I want to see it.
Oh my God. But what I thought of with this finale, going back to Carmilla's song Fight for Love, everyone was fighting for love
Mm-hmm.
in the season finale. Charlie fighting for her people, Baggy fighting for Charlie. You have Lucifer fighting for Charlie, the residents fighting for the love of friendship and protecting their Hazbin hotel. But what was Alistair fighting for? Was he fighting for love?
We don't know, but obviously he lost. Ha!
Yeah,
Love you,
because
Alistair, but
he
you
wasn't
lost.
fighting for love.
No, but I'm sure, like I said, a lot of characters got a slap in the face these last 4 episodes, and so I think a lot of them are starting to wake up. And I have they had any news about the second season when it's going to be in production and then premiered?
So they are currently recording the voice lines for season 2, and
Woo!
Mir, who is the voice actor for Alistair, is very. It's just my Twitter is just has been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, I swear. He has stated that it's not going to be as long of a wait for as it was for season 1. So, I mean, we waited 5 years for season 1, so I hope it's like in my ideal world, I'm hoping a year or two.
I hope in a year.
I really hope so
I hope
because
next year they do it.
it's been getting so much traction like on TikTok, on YouTube, in the news because there's like the million moms are like
Mm-hmm.
petitioning against canceling the show and stuff like that. It's like so I told you when season 6 or not season 6, episode 6 with Lucifer's song Deadbeat Dad. Was it Deadbeat Dad?
I thought that was
I don't
episode
remember.
5.
Oh yeah, episode 5 with Lucifer's songs. The one with Lucifer and Alistair, it hit 1 million views
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube within 9 hours, and it was 8 trending on YouTube for a while. It's these are popular. This is a popular series, so I'm hoping they're like bring this out faster. But of course, we need to think of the well-being of the cast and crew as
Well,
well.
and we also have to think of Hell of a Boss. It's not done yet.
Yes, so I'm hoping, well, everyone's hoping that we get some Hell of a Boss news soon so we can switch back to that.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great 4 episodes. I want to rewatch the last 2 episodes because those just fucking went hard.
Yes, it goes by so fast. When I was watching it the first time with my roommate, we were like, oh, it's like we needed more immediately. Inject it into my veins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. 100%. I felt satisfied and still hungry at the same time.
Mhm,
I felt
exactly.
like I want dessert. And
I need
second dinner.
breakfast.
Second dinner and then second dessert. Hurry up. Give it to me now.
Oh my goodness. I hope it goes like Hell of a Boss has been, Hell of a Boss has been.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet it's so funny with all the Hellborn being like, what's going on in the Pride Ring right now? This battle against demons and angels. Like, it doesn't affect us.
Oh yeah, whatever. Go back to whatever the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, right. It's just like, oh, Stolas and Blitz, will they get together? And then over here, it's like, there's a genocide against human souls in hell.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Guys, you guys need to watch Hazbin Hotel if you have not. Binge it. You could do it in like 4 hours, honestly. It's a banger. Songs are on Spotify.
Yes.
Support the show. It's incredible. I am just so happy to have something like this. It's different from all the Asian shit I watch, and I am just so hooked on Hazbin Hotel. More than Hell of a Boss, but hey, who knows what happens with Hell of a Boss now. So please, Amazon Prime. If not, ask a friend for their Amazon Prime. It's absolutely worth it. So much.
Yeah,
Oh.
can't wait for more. You got to give it a chance. I think if you like musicals, if you like Broadway, or if you like Disney princess-esque main characters like I do, and if you like religious ideologies and religious themes, or what is it? The subversion of religious themes,
Mm-hmm.
I think and little dark, dirty comedies. I think you'll like this.
And if you just like entertainment, just fucking watch it. For real. Well, I'm satisfied with everything we talked about. I definitely want to rewatch it in a couple of weeks. Just sit on my couch, watch it on the TV, and and then I can skip the shit that I don't like. I'm just gonna rewatch the parts of Alistair, basically. That's
I've basically rewatched every episode 3 times already, but
Fuck.
I will be rewatching the whole series again, 100%.
So good.
Very soon.
All right, Tabby, do you have anything else you want to say about Hazbin?
I think I'm good.
We wrapped it up, guys. Hazbin Hotel is done. We cannot wait for more. The next thing we'll be talking about related to this world, hopefully, is Hell of a Boss's the last of the season 2. But thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed our conversation, and we look forward to you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to another tipsy and geeky adventure with Tipsy Geeks Unite. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
Absolutely. And remember, you can catch our episodes on your favorite podcast platforms. We're available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review if you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to join us bi-weekly. We unveil 2 new episodes every other Tuesday, promising a continuous dose of excitement and nerdiness just for you.
And for an extra dose of geekiness, check out the show notes for links to our individual Twitch channels. You can catch us individually streaming a variety of video games, and we'd love to have you join us.
Thanks for geeking out with us, and until next time, stay tipsy and keep on geekin'.
Cheers, geeks!